I thought the Democrats couldn't fail harder, but they managed to find a way, and honestly, it's impressive. So, the left keeps dying in slow motion, is what I usually say, but they're speeding shit up. I don't know if you're aware, but it turns out, if you want to look at the actual stats, things are very bad. Very, very bad for the Democrats, which is very not so bad for me, personally. Like, new poll just came out. Can you hear the screaming? The Democratic Party has a 26% approval rating. That's very bad. That's very bad. Can you hear the screaming? That is the question we all ask. From JDV48. Anyway, Democrats voted to shut down the government. Now, this is honestly hilarious, okay? This is very, very funny. And a lot of people think this is like a really bad thing. And well, it is a bad thing if you're retarded. If you're based like me, you understand that this is actually very, very funny. So, the reason why this happened, I'll give you the lore. The Democrats essentially said, we want free healthcare for more people. Now, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Free healthcare for more people, that's great. They include illegal immigrants. Essentially, they want to take your taxpayer dollars and give your taxpayer dollars to people that invaded our country illegally. That is one point. And a second point, and this one's going to be even more controversial, and I'm sure that a lot of people will not agree with this take. There is no such thing as free healthcare. Free healthcare does not exist. There is no such thing as free healthcare. If it's free, it means someone else is paying for it. If it's free, it's the people that are working that are paying for it. And if it's specifically for illegals, then you are paying for the healthcare of terrorists, rapists, pedophile, illegal invaders. All right? You have to put it into perspective. So, essentially, that's what this big beef was between the Democrats and the Republicans. And you are the lord of the afterlife, and you will be seeing some Democrats, well, relatively shortly, because they're all getting fired. So, Senate Democrats voted to send the government into a shutdown. Democrats shutdown loading. The White House has been taking this incredibly calmly. Incredibly calmly. They've been pretty cool about it. They've been like, nothing new under the sun, to quote the scripture. They've done this before. This is the second time the Democrats shut down a Trump government. They did this for the first time in Trump's first term. They're doing this again in the second term. It's almost like they're whiny, crying, bitching babies with no actual movement. And this is insane. So here's the lore. For the first time in 8 years, U.S. government entered a shutdown. 750,000 federal employees have been furloughed without pay. So let's just put this into perspective. We are saving money, all right? Government shutdown means retards don't get paid. Anyway, on Wednesday, the U.S. government suspended much of its operations after deep partisan divisions, preventing Congress and the White House from reaching a funding deal. Federal agencies warned that the shutdown will delay the release of official statistics, slow down air travel, halt scientific research. All the Democrats are crying and complaining about scientific research, and then they vote to shut down the government. Delay pay for U.S. military personnel, send 750,000 federal employees into unpaid leave. Oh well, sucks to suck, I guess. Sucks to be you. Trump blamed the Democrats for the shutdown, accusing them of demanding major budget allocations for things like gender reassignment surgeries for minors. In other words, the pedophile cult wanted a little more money. It's very important. It's very important. According to the pedophile cult was like, yo guys, we need ways to sacrifice more children to the Moloch, our fake deity, our pagan god, because we hate you and your culture. And then the Republicans were like, actually, we would prefer if you did not feed the Moloch anymore. 1 million abortions a year is too many. We don't want you sterilizing half of our children, please. And they were like, but the Moloch demands it! And then they shut down the government. That's what actually had. It's a true story. That's what happened. I was there. I saw it. And services for the illegal migrants. That's right. Basically, free healthcare, stuff like that. Now, I want to make something clear, all right? Because a lot of people don't look at it from this perspective. Because I'm going to show you the Democrats' responses to this. They try to flip it onto the Republicans. They try to flip it onto the right. They say it's the right's fault that this actually happened. This is amazing, by the way. Because they try to say illegal migrants aren't going to be eligible for these services. That's their trick. That's how they try to sneak past you. The reality is the illegal migrants are not legitimate for these services. They are not legible, but they get them anyway because they fucking surpass the checks and balances in blue cities and blue states. So even though you're right, technically the healthcare is not supposed to go to them, it does. And do you want to know proof? If there's an illegal alien in the United States of America, okay, and they go to an emergency room, because this is very, very common. They get something happen to them, whatever it is, they go to the emergency room. If you go to the emergency room, someone sees them. If someone sees them, they should get paid. The illegal immigrant leaves. They don't have ID. They don't fucking pay. So who pays? The government. Who pays the government? You. That's how it works. Illegal immigrant goes to the emergency room. You are paying for his health care. All right? And that's what they want. All right? This is a giant scam. It's a fraud ring to essentially raise taxes to pay for services for illegals. All right? It's very important that people understand the frame of reference because the Democrats like saying free, 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 free. Nothing is fucking free. And it doesn't exist. There have been 22 government shutdowns in U.S. history. According to the Bank of America, every 2 weeks, such a shutdown costs the U.S. economy. And here's the thing: the economy is probably going to go down by 0.1 percentage points or whatever. And they're going to take this as a moment to say, "Look at Trump's economy." All right, they are literally torpedoing their own country for the sake of cutting the testicles off children, funding illegals, and blaming Trump on the destruction that they are causing. You have to understand the level of evil we're dealing with. But again, we're not surprised that the baby murder cult is actually relatively immoral in some regards, right? Like, dude, this is the same shit every single time. I'm gonna show you a meme that this is how I feel. All right, this is how I feel about the entire Democrat bullshit retard syndrome that we're dealing with. Like, this is the moral party, right? So, all right, so here you have a tweet. All humans have human rights. Pro-abortion people. This sign won't stop me. I can't read. Right? So, anyway, so that's the joke. The response is, cool, now do school lunches. Like, that's a response, right? You have to understand. This is the response. The response is, now do school lunches. Why is it that you think that we shouldn't be aborting our children, but you do think that people shouldn't get free lunch at school? And the response was diabolical. So here you have the fucking human sacrifice cult talking to the Christians, right? The colonials, right? The colonizers. If you were truly pro-life, you'd advocate for free school lunches, they say as they commit human sacrifice. And I feel like this sums up the entire fucking Democratic Party in one image. In one image, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at. It's like, I thought you cared about free healthcare, they say as they steal your money and murder your children. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. It's pretty good. I'll have you know, based Nux is only getting more based. A lot of people have been very upset with how based I have become, and, you know, I just say the things that I believe, and, you know, it resonates with a lot of people, because it turns out that's actually the truth. So, anyway, Caroline Leavitt says Democrats shut down. Democrats voted to shut down the government, but with multiple of them voting with Republicans to keep the government open, like John Fetterman, Democrats are crumbling before the shutdown even begins. There is battles among their ranks. There are battles among the ranks of the Democrats. Some of the Democrats are like, wait a second, maybe we should actually put our country first. And other Democrats are like, fuck our country, fuck Trump. We need to make sure that children get castrated and that we give money to illegal immigrants. This is the top priority. I'm really glad that we're on the same page. So, anyway, the White House has been taking this very well. And the reason is because the Democrats are kind of playing into Trump's hands here. If the government actually goes into shutdown, there's way less payment that go out to federal employees. Obviously, the Democrats look retarded. And obviously, if they try to shut this down, it means that their retarded bills aren't going to pass. So, realistically, this is very fucking funny if you are a Republican. So, you have to see the memes that the White House has been posting. Day in the life of a Democrat who has to keep the government open.
Early worm gets the worm. Do not talk to me until I have had my coffee. Just pooping. You know how I be. I'm hungry.
Michael ate an entire family-sized chicken pot pie for lunch.
He's on a sales call.
No work! Here are some downloaded peaceful sounds. That one makes me think of death. How can I be productive if I have this one little thing in my brain that I cannot get out, and that one little thing is a soft pretzel? Oh, wow, okay. All right, let's all go home.
All right, it's over. This was posted by the White House. Now, I'm really appreciating this lopsided warfare, okay? Normally, you have the people on the left making a claim, then you have the people on the right debunking that claim, then you have the people on the left debunking that claim, and it goes back and forth and back and forth. The battle, the debates. You killed a negotiator. I will never, ever, ever forget that the number one person that was willing to open dialogue with you absolute degenerate heathens you murdered, you shot him in the neck and you celebrated his death. The time for negotiations has ended. It's time for war. Anyway, nonviolent war, obviously. Donald J. Trump has been absolutely killing it. He came back to Twitter. All right, normally he's just on Truth Social. He came back to Twitter just for this occasion. So this over here is a post that he made. This is Chuck Schumer, one of the retards in charge of the shutdown. This is Hakeem Jeffries, another one of the retards in charge of the shutdown. And he posts, this meme, because realistically, I think we have to stop even almost engaging with the retards. If you're gonna act in bad faith, there's no reason to engage with these people. Like, there really isn't. I love open debate. I love open discussion. I think free speech is super important. But if you're gonna be a lying, vindictive, manipulative piece of shit retard that's trying to steal my money to castrate my children, no, I actually don't have a lot of respect for you. So check this out, man.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know? At least for a while, until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
That's right. So anyway, Donald Trump posted this. He posted this to Twitter, and it's got 30 million views and 400,000 likes. And I think this is how you engage with these people. They act in bad faith, you fucking destroy them. Truly wonderful. Anyway, are illegals allowed to vote? Oh, you don't understand. Illegals are technically not allowed to vote, but they do anyway in blue states because they don't demand ID to vote. It's part of the fucking scam. That's why the Democratic Party is such a scam. Because essentially they'll say things like, what do you mean we're not getting health care for illegal immigrants? They're not eligible, which is true. But then they just get it anyway because they break the system and they don't care. So anyway, so Trump posted this. Now, obviously, this did not go over well. The way this was played on ABC News, they put this massive fucking watermark, say AI generated image. This is how they posted it.
President Trump shared a deepfake video Monday night depicting Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries making false claims about their demands. Jeffries firing back.
And this is how the media will manipulate everything. He posted an obvious meme, and the media will be like, Donald Trump is slandering these people, false claims, they're manipulating people. This is amazing.
Bigotry will get you nowhere.
And Mr. President, the next time you have something to say about me,
oh yeah, you're so brave.
don't cop out through a racist and fake AI video. When I'm back in the Oval Office, say it to my face.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer also responded saying, if you think your shutdown is a joke, it just proves what we all know. You can't negotiate, you can only throw tantrums.
Bro, your entire political party lost by a vast majority to a guy that can only throw tantrums. This doesn't look good for you. I don't think you're aware. This actually looks very bad for you. So anyway, that's how ABC News published the story, right? Massive, you have to make AI generated image, right? So, you know, they try to blast Trump, and honestly, I am absolutely loving this don't give a fuck mentality. It's truly so powerful because, like, they'll call you a racist, but if you simply say, I don't give a fuck what you say, I don't give a shit what you say, dipshit, all right, you pull out the JD Vance tweet, I don't give a shit what you call it, you are immortal. What are they gonna fucking do? They just look completely retarded with this whole massive thing. They're making a whole scandal because they put a fucking sombrero on Hakeem Jeffries. But don't worry, it gets way better. So this is the clip. Rapid Response 47, which is a Trump fake news debunker Twitter account, posted this. Oh no! Hakeem is big mad with his like
Mr. President, the next time you have something to say about me,
oh yeah, you talk to power. Talk to power. You say it in my face. Don't do it around my back.
cop out
Don't cop out.
through a racist
Racism
and fake
bigotry.
AI video.
That's right.
When I'm back in the Oval Office, say it to my face.
Yeah, say it to my face, Mr. President. So anyway, Donald Trump then responded with this. A meme of Hakeem Jeffries in the Oval Office with Trump smiling at him with Trump 2028 hats on the table. That's my president. That's my fucking president. That's my president. And he's sitting there and he's just laughing at him with the 2028 hats. Dude, this is absolute cinema level of trolling. Like, these people they don't even need, like, bro, he just fucking killed them. You don't need to engage with these people in conversation. They are bad faith. Now, the response is obviously, I'll put him in a sombrero, because, I mean, this is never going to stop. This is never going to stop. You don't understand. Anywho, it gets so much better. This is the next thing. So then, of course, Hakeem Jeffries goes on MSNBC News, right? He goes on MSNBC to cry about how he was wronged and how there was an act of racist hate sent his way because they put him in a sombrero. All right, so he's out there crying about it on the news. So Donald Trump basically takes the clip that he's crying about it on the news and he posts it to his own Twitter account. I wonder if there's anything interesting going to be showing up on this tweet. I wonder if there's anything weird that we're going to see.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
I can't, dude. You don't understand. This is everything I've ever wanted. Everything I've ever wanted. Bro, so he goes on MSNBC to go cry about racism. He goes on MSNBC to go cry about racism, and this is Donald Trump's response.
Clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face.
I can't. I literally, that's my president. That's so fucking awesome. Like, dude. And they're all crying about racism because he put a sombrero and a mustache on him. No, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's why these people will never, even Elon Musk joined in the fray, you know, laughing. Because this is the funniest thing in the history of time. Donald Trump Jr. also has been tweeted, tell them they have 1 hour to post, they have 1 hour or I will post them wearing another sombrero. Oh my God, the actual threat. Bro, I can't, like, you don't understand. This is absolute cinema. It's the funniest thing in the world. So, Hakeem Jeffries out there, the edits have been insane. Everyone's obviously very on top of it.
And Mr. President, the next time you have something to say about me, say it to my face.
Deport all illegal aliens. I repeat, deport all illegal aliens.
So, you don't understand the level of cinema we are actually dealing with. All right? It's amazing. It's everything I've ever wanted. We should not be taking these people seriously. They're deeply unserious people. So this was Hakeem Jeffries' response on Twitter. This is real. Wow. Wow. Unlike Donald Trump, who used an AI, this is an image of Donald Trump with Jeff Epp. That's right, it's over. This is the only thing that they do. This is the only thing they have. Just a casual reminder that the Democrats were in power for 4 years, and they have not released any Epstein files, just saying. But anyway, this is the only thing they have. They cannot ever engage with anything. So, let me show you what the Democrats have been doing. They have been making believe that it's the Republicans that are shutting down the government, and they've been posting unbelievable amounts of propaganda, like embarrassing levels of propaganda about this, because it's a lie. They literally voted to shut down the government because Trump was like, no, we don't actually want to fund illegals. So this is them posting the cringest fucking unserious videos of all time. All right, so this is a man with a penis that dresses like a woman and thinks that he is one. So this man over here posted this video.
All my Democratic colleagues are here. I'm gonna go search for my Republican colleagues. Republicans.
Oh my God, they're
Y'all
not here.
know there's a government shutdown. Republicans.
Oh my God.
Anyone here?
Oh my God, they're not here.
Johnson in here?
No one's
Let's see
there.
if some Republicans are in here. Are there any Republicans
No
in
Republicans.
here? Hello? Republicans? No Republicans here.
They really think this is gonna work? Sir, get a better staff.
They left a mess and left town. No Republicans on the train.
That's right.
Republicans. Have you seen any Republicans? Are any Republicans here?
All right, we're done with that. Deeply unfunny. Should have posted a meme of somebody in a sombrero, but that was crazy. I mean, to be honest, sense of humor like a woman, that's for sure. But other than that, this do be a man. Anyway, this is the craziest part. He voted nay. This person, Sarah McBride, that's making believe that the reason why there's a government shutdown is because the Republicans are not here. This person voted for a government shutdown. All right, you have to be clear to the levels of gaslighting and retardation that we're dealing with. So they will constantly be posting videos and stories about how they are actually, they are trying to keep the government alive, and the Republicans are the ones trying to shut it down. But this is one of the people that voted for the government shutdown. They are all liars. They are all literally liars and gaslighters, and that's what they actually try to do. So they post like these really cringe videos to try to make it look like it's them that's not shutting down the government. But JD Vance, JD 47, 48, some would even say, he's been cooking. Democrats are about to shut down the government because they demand we fund healthcare for illegal aliens. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. That's basically the story, and he's correct. He's just, yeah, true, absolutely. That's what they want. They want to shut down the government because they want money to go to illegals, and probably themselves. So anyway, JD Vance also tweeted a very interesting image. This is Chuck Schumer from 1996. All right, 30-year-old clip. And interestingly enough, Chuck Schumer back in the day actually did not want money to go to illegal immigrants.
This is an anti-fraud amendment. All over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on. We say we're doing something, and we do nothing.
Wow!
Because every time someone makes a rational and small proposal to get something done, people say, well, what about this hypothetical, that hypothetical, etc.
Right.
I urge support of this amendment. If you believe you want to stop fraud in immigration, you have no choice but to support this amendment.
What happened to this guy? Trump derangement syndrome cooked his fucking head. Literally what happened. This dude should debate Chuck Schumer. He would kill him. He would fucking murder him on the Senate. So, JD Vance brings this up, makes a tweet. Chuck Schumer once recognized it was disastrous to give illegal aliens rewards for breaking the law. Now he wants to shut down the government unless we reward illegal aliens for breaking the law. These people are acting like pregnant TikTokers overdosing on Tylenol every day, and it's embarrassing. You know, Trump says don't take Tylenol, and they overdose on Tylenol. Trump says let's actually not give money to illegal invaders, and they're like, yo, actually, let's give money to illegal invaders. This clip in 1996, this is back when Chuck Schumer used to be Jewish. Now he's a Palestinian. Anyway, that was racist. Gavin Newsom and the rest of the fucking fraud squad. The last government shutdown was when Donald Trump was president. It cost the American people $11 billion. Almost like there's a pattern here. Yeah, you're right. There is a pattern here. You hate Donald Trump so much, you would shut down the government and torture the American people because of Trump. Because of Trump. Do you understand? It's almost like it's because you hate Trump so much, you try to shut down the government every single time. It's called the Schumer shutdown for a reason. Have fun in midterms. California has a $1.6 trillion debt. Why don't you worry about that before you worry about the rest of the country, right? Governor of California. So this is like a giant level of retard, all right? So obviously, once again, gaslighting, because the Democrats voted to shut down the government. And he's not saying that they didn't. He's just saying that, yeah, the Democrats voted to shut down the government twice, both times under Donald Trump. This is not a good look for you, my bro. My bro, this looks kind of shit for you. So Ilhan Omar says, Republicans are shutting down the government because they don't want to fix the healthcare crisis they created. Not true. The Republicans did not create the healthcare crisis. Also, they are not shutting down the government. You are. And also, this has nothing to do with the healthcare crisis. This is about illegal aliens. They're also holding the entire government hostage. No, you are. So they could raise healthcare premiums by 75% for 20 million Americans. That's not the plan. And throw millions off their healthcare. No, they're trying to throw illegal aliens off their healthcare. So I responded, sooner you get deported, the bigger the pie gets for everyone else. Stop being selfish. I agree. I agree with me. She should, in fact, self-deport. I feel like this is what we got to do. We got to make fun of these people. That's the only way forward. There's no engagement. There's no actual decent engagement you can have because this entire tweet's a lie. Maybe not a technical lie, but it is a actual verifiable propaganda lie. Okay, all right, Ilhan Omar, Mrs. I will marry my brother to fucking invade the country illegally. Obviously, she's biased. And this is what all of them do. So this is what Vance had to say on CNN. And he cooked here.
But if you look at the original thing they did with this negotiation, it was a $1.5 trillion spending package, basically saying to the American people, we want to give massive amounts of money, hundreds of billions of dollars to illegal aliens for their health care while Americans are struggling to pay their health care bills. That was their initial foray into this negotiation. We thought it was absurd. We told them it was absurd, and now they come in here saying that if you don't give us everything that we want, we're going to shut down the government. We think that's...
Wow, that kind of sounds like terrorism. If you don't submit to every single one of our demands, we will shut down the government and blame you. The leftoid party, once again, the terrorist party.
Preposterous. We think it's totally unacceptable, and we think the American people are going to suffer because these guys won't do the right thing. Now, I want to make, but if you look at the original,
So now, look at the bad faith response. Senator Alex Padillo says, this is a blatant lie. It's not. Undocumented immigrants don't qualify for ACA coverage. Pay attention to the words. He doesn't say, don't get ACA coverage. He says, don't qualify, which is true. But then they just give them the coverage anyway, because they're a giant fraudulent piece of shit. So, but the millions of Americans who do will see the premiums double if Trump and Republicans can't come to the table. Bro, this is all your fault. For the record, this is the leftoids' fault. If they wouldn't actually recognize the reality and be like, yo, how about we make sure to help healthcare problems, but not actually allow it to go to illegal immigrants? If they would do stuff like this, they could actually come to the table. But because they're saying cave to every single one of our demands, or else, we picked else. Nice try, you rat. Illegal aliens don't qualify, but they're still taking billions of American taxpayer dollars for these programs every year because bitches like you run defense for them and turn a blind eye to the corruption and fraud. We know you hate Americans, at least be honest. Also true, no lies, no lies. I ratioed him for a while there with this response, too. No, dude, these people need to be fucking held with their feet to the fire. It's absolutely diabolical. They just lie and they get away with it. And people believe it. Like the retards, they believe it. In Clark, the government may shut down in 12 hours. Democrats are in D.C. fighting to protect your health care and lower your costs. Republicans are on vacation. But I fixed the tweet for her, don't worry. The government may shut down in 12 hours. Democrats are in D.C. fighting to protect illegal aliens' health care and raise your taxes. I helped. And I'll be honest. This is like a 5x ratio. Not trying to be rude here, but I think if anyone gets ratioed this badly by a blue retard on the internet, they should immediately lose their position in government. This is my opinion. I think this should be instituted into law immediately. Bro, I have over 5 times the likes in a reply to a fucking government majority whip, alright? What, like, bro, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Holy shit. Defender of women, kids, and justice. She, her, transgender son. All right, let's see if it's true. Dad worried about his 8-year-old transgender son. Oh, you're a demon. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, classic demons. They hide among us. They make believe they're humans, and then they fucking, slither around in the dark. But no, they out there fucking children and stuff. Anyway, Amy Klobuchar said the president prides himself on the art of the deal. Well, now the time for him to make a deal. Except these people are not willing to make a deal. These people are only willing to have everyone else capitulate to their demands. Lower healthcare costs for working families. Don't shut down the government. For the record, she voted to shut down the government. You have to understand. She voted to shut down the government. And she says on Twitter, don't do it. Do you understand the level of evil and propaganda and lies we're dealing with? So I translated her tweet. The president wrote a book about deals, so he should cave to our demands and give American taxpayer dollars to illegals. And, like, dude, I am ratioing every fucking politician in America. I'm just saying. And it's not because I'm more famous than them, all right? I'm just doing I'm doing God's work. All right, I'm doing God's work. God hates liars. And you know who else hates liars? The warriors of God. The people that just are everyday people that recognize the bullshit and see it around us. Like, this is insane. So, yes, we are seeing the art of the deal. The art of the deal is you guys are shutting down your own government shit. Elizabeth Warren, Americans need affordable health care. No one should go bankrupt because they got sick and needed a doctor. If Republicans wanted to shut down the government so they can keep increasing costs and cutting health care, then they need to explain that to the American people. But I fixed that tweet for her also, don't worry. Americans need affordable health care. So I got a big payout from pharmaceutical companies to jack up the prices and reject cheaper alternatives. So that's I'm just out there fixing everyone's tweets, making sure that everyone understands. I'm just doing their work for them. Like, I'm sure what they actually want is for the people to know the reality. Elizabeth Warren, known recipient of millions of dollars from Big Pharma, jacking up pharma prices. She doesn't give a flying fuck about any form of healthcare or costs for the American people at all. She just has Trump derangement syndrome and probably irritable bowel disease, if I had to guess. But anyway, it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. So they keep doing this strat. Get Jasmine Crockett, dumb as a rock, known for being retarded, sub 90 IQ. That's a fact. The government is officially shut down. Make no mistake. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. This is their shutdown. They had every tool to govern, and they chose chaos instead. The American people are the ones paying the price. Again, unbelievably slimy as fuck. This is the New York Times, by the way, a very leftist publication. Democrats block GOP spending extensions to shut down loons. The reality is, the Democrats voted for the shutdown. The shutdown happened because the Democrats refused to play ball. But she is going to manipulate it to say that Republicans control the House, Senate, and White House. So you're kind of saying it's them, but it was literally you. It was literally you. You caused the shutdown by blocking the bill. It is literally you. And they're going to try so hard to obfuscate. And they all do this same bullshit. You know, Republicans control the House, Republicans control the Senate, Republicans control the White House. If the government shuts down, they control that too. Literally no. Literally no. It's like saying, Trump is in power. So I know a leftist murdered Charlie Kirk, but it's really Trump's fault because he's in power. Like, that's the level of retard we're dealing with. And they really think this propaganda is actually going to work. they actually think it's going to work. That's the craziest part. Breaking news. Nearly 100,000 federal workers have resigned this morning, making it the largest resignation in history. They actually already resigned. September 30th is just the last day. So 100,000 people no longer around. Cutting costs will show them, say the Democrats. They're really proud of this one. Yeah, what's the government going to do if we fire ourselves? Can't fire us if we fire ourselves. Got him. Wait, hold up. New clip from JD. Hold up. JD clip. All right, well, what do we got here?
This is a Democrat talking point. They say we're not actually trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens, and here's why it's not true.
Oh,
there
yes!
Are two
Debunk it! Oh, my. I'm so happy that he's actually addressing this. Because I said it, but I'm really happy he's saying it. JD, Just Dance Vance, 48.
Programs that explicitly gave the taxpayer health care money to illegal aliens that we turned off when President Trump took over in January. Program number one is there's a lot of emergency health care at hospitals that are provided to illegal aliens. That's exactly that was funded by the federal government. We turned off that funding because, of course, we want American citizens to benefit from those hospital services, not to be taxed and then to have those hospital services go to illegal aliens. The second of which is the Biden administration gave mass parole to millions upon millions of illegal aliens, and then they simultaneously made those parolees eligible for health care benefits funded by taxpayers. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, President Trump and congressional Republicans turned off that money to health care funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to turn it back on. And in their initial proposal, the first thing that they put out to reopen the government, they actually turned that money for health care benefits for illegal aliens back on. So it's not something that we made up. It's not a talking point. It is in the text of the bill that they initially gave to us to reopen the government. It's preposterous for them to run away from it now. But look, let's set that all to the side. Let's open up the government. Let's negotiate on all of these healthcare policy issues. Obviously, we're not going to support healthcare benefits for illegal aliens, but we will work with them to lower healthcare costs for American citizens if they're willing to do so.
Is that not the most ultimate epic response of all time? Like, he's saying, yo, we actually are fighting to lower the costs for healthcare for Americans. You are fighting to give our money to illegals. He's completely correct. No, but everyone is legal. No, they're not. I actually fully support, passing laws in Congress that anybody that says that everyone is legal and there's no humans are illegal, that it should be legally permitted to break into their house and sleep on their couch. I think it's important. I think it would solve problems. I feel like we got to hit him with some biblical levels of responses. All right, eye for an eye. No one is illegal. Okay, we break into your window and we sleep on your couch. I feel like we should do that. Obviously not telling any of you to do it. Don't do it. I just hope that the government passes a law like that. Yeah, and also turn their tap water into blood or some shit. I feel like that would be appropriate. But anyway, I really feel like this is cinema. Absolute cinema. This whole situation is hilarious because it goes to show the evil you're actually dealing with on a daily basis. So, John Kennedy, one of the greatest senators in the history of the United States, absolutely fucking cooked the Democrats on the floor. So, lock in, boys and girls. Let's see what we got. People told me I had to see this. I didn't see this clip yet. All right, let's go.
Well, Mr. President, it looks like we're going to have a shutdown.
Uh-oh.
What does that tell us?
What does it tell us?
I'll tell you what it tells me.
Uh-oh.
It's simply that much more evidence that human evolution is a slow process. I thought humans had advanced more as a species.
Oh, God.
But apparently,
Democrats out here debunking evolution. Return to God.
We haven't.
Oh, no.
What do I mean by a shutdown?
All right.
Well, we can't keep government open without a budget.
True.
And tonight at midnight, our current budget expires unless we vote to maintain the status quo and continue the current budget as we negotiate a new one. Many of my Democratic friends say, well, what's the problem? The Republicans are in charge. The president's a Republican, and the Republicans have a majority.
That's what they keep saying on Twitter. It's your government, guys. It's your government. It's your fault. It's your fault. Now, let me castrate your children, okay? Let me castrate your child. Give me your child. It's your government. Let me castrate your children. Have you done the requisite amount of abortions required to join the Democratic Party? Have you sacrificed enough children? Please make sure you've injected enough child placenta inside you so that we know you're actually one of us. And then they go on Twitter, I can't believe Trump is doing this to people. I can't believe it.
And the Republicans have a majority in the House. What's the problem? They know what the problem is. We can't pass a budget. We can't keep government open just with Republican votes here in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans. We need 7 Democrats to join with us. So for my Democratic colleagues to say, well, the Republicans are in charge and they don't need us, they know that's not accurate.
They're liars. They are liars and they are propagandists. Okay? You have to understand what you're dealing with. And God hates liars. Remember, they killed Charlie Kirk because he spoke the truth. A fundamental ideal is to distance yourself from lies, as it says in Deuteronomy. Distance yourself from it. Don't unify with it. Every time I hear someone in the media tell you, you should unify with them, we need to unify. No. God said distance yourself from liars. I cannot deal with this shit, this cult, this child-sacrificing cult of retards and liars. No thank you. You will be destroyed.
And that's what's going on. Now, we've had a few shutdowns before, and every shutdown is different, but most shutdowns are a combination of both policy and politics in varying degrees. This shutdown, in terms of policy, makes absolutely no sense.
Correct.
None.
It's just because they hate Trump.
What we have proposed to our Democratic colleagues and the minority leader, Senator Schumer, is to make no changes to the current budget. We just want to continue the current budget and keep government open until just before Thanksgiving to give us more time to negotiate a permanent budget.
Right, that makes sense, right?
We did that many times when President Biden was president and when the Democrats had the majority. In fact, we did it 13 times. Not only have Republicans done it, but Democrats.
It's almost like Republicans aren't literally fighting to destroy our own country because there's some guy in power they don't like. It's almost like they're actually fighting for the people or something. Kind of weird.
Democrats have routinely done it. But this time, the Democrats have said, no. We want more. And you may be thinking, okay, that's reasonable. What do you want? Well, it's not reasonable. In effect, what the Democrats are saying to us is that we're going to close government unless you Republicans agree to make it bigger. We don't want the state.
Like, do you understand what that means? They're saying you have to destroy the economy, make the economy in the country worse, or we're going to shut down the government. Then they shut down the government, they blame him. And if they would have caved and made the economy worse, you know what they would have said? Donald Trump's economy is ruining America. Do you understand how evil it is? They are doing their absolute best to destroy America, to blame it on Trump. Like, they are the party of violence and crime. You have to understand how evil this is. Because the goal of the Democratic Party is fundamentally one thing. It's anti-West, it's anti-God, and even more obviously, it's just anti-Trump. That is the entire the entire party. That's the only thing that they say. It's the only thing they do. They don't care about policy. They don't care about anything. It's only anti-Trump. They side with terrorists over Trump arresting them. They'll side with rioters over Trump stopping them. They will do their absolute best to destroy the country if it means they can blame it on Trump.
Status quo. We want you to commit to spending $1.5 trillion more than you're spending now. And we, the Democrats are saying, are going to tell you how to spend it. First, they want us to repeal all of the Medicaid reforms that we did in the reconciliation bill. Some call it the One Big Beautiful Bill. The One Big Beautiful Bill
That's what I call it.
Would not reduce Medicaid. In fact, it would go up about 2% every year as a result of our bill. But it would say to people who are on Medicaid, who aren't eligible for Medicaid, that you're not going to get Medicaid anymore.
Based.
Dual eligibles, people who sign up in Louisiana and Mississippi, that's fraud. Under our bill, they would be thrown off.
That's right.
The Democrats want to put back on.
The party of fraud.
Under our changes in the One Big Beautiful Bill that the Democrats want us to reverse, you would have to satisfy certain income levels to be on Medicaid. The law says if you make too much money, you can't get Medicaid because Medicaid is for the poor. In my state, we have found people through audits making $120,000 a year on Medicaid.
That's right.
So our bill,
that's a scam.
The Democrats want us to repeal after just passing it, would say to those people that if you don't meet the income
That's
limits...
right, Democrats, party of crime, party of fraud. As long as Trump bad, that's all that matters.
If you don't meet the income limits, you can't get Medicaid. So that's the first demand of the Democrats. Take out all the reforms that we made to Medicaid in the reconciliation bill and throw them out the window. Number two.
All right.
They want to extend the Obamacare subsidy.
That's right, dude. Obama's the problem.
What does that mean?
But for the record, Obama is the problem. I feel like that dude, he may be a good speaker. He might have riz. He might have charisma. He even rizzed his husband, who became his wife later in life. They say he kept his penis, but I don't personally engage in conspiracy theories like that. Everything came from that motherfucker. Everything came from that dude. All of it. The Antifa shit, the BLM shit, the rioting shit, it all started from that dude.
Well, first let me say, Obamacare was a mistake, and we know that now. When President Obama passed Obamacare, we were told that our lives would be better. Our lives have been worse. We were told that it would make health insurance more accessible and more affordable. It's done neither. On the non-Medicaid part of Obamacare, we've got, I don't know, 20, 25 million Americans who are accessing it. And for the most part, about 90% of them are low-income Americans. But the rest are making huge sums of money.
Weird.
Some are making $160,000 a year getting Obamacare subsidized by
that sounds
taxpayers.
like fraud.
And that's not the way it was supposed to be. How did we get here? Well, it's simple. During the pandemic, when people were being laid off or losing their jobs or couldn't work, President Biden rammed through a bill to enlarge the subsidies. He took the cap off the amount that you needed to earn in order to get Obamacare.
It's almost like
and those
one of the major fundamental purposes of COVID was to push us to a socialized retard state. It's almost like that was part of the plan.
At the end of this year, about to run out. Now, the Republicans have said, we'll sit down with our Democratic friends and talk about how to extend them, but we want to reform the program because it's not right that people making $125,000, $150,000, $250,000, $200,000 a year are getting their health insurance subsidized by the federal government. That's bone deep down to the mayor stupid. The Democrats and his colleagues have said, no, we will shut government down unless you agree automatically to extend these subsidies, which were passed during the pandemic, after the pandemic is over, permanently. And that's just some of my colleagues' demands. I mean,
it's pretty basic, right? You'd think this makes sense. But no, they would rather shut down the government and torture the people. That's more important.
You need an Excel spreadsheet to be able to follow their demands. Their demands to keep government open, you stack them here, you could stand on them and paint the ceiling. And that's not much of an exaggeration.
I mean, you don't understand. That's like actual terrorist strategy. It's like, all right. This is what Hamas says, right? We'll end the war, we'll give back the hostages, except for 2 of them, and 3 more, and then we'll give you some on next Wednesday. Also, we need 4,000 of your prisoners released. Also, we need extra territory, and it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And then they're like, oh my God, they refuse a ceasefire. And it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, this is actual terrorist tactic.
And when Senator Schumer announced these demands...
Bro, this is Russia being like, listen, we can stop the war. Just give me Ukraine. It's like, all right, dude. All right, okay.
And that's when I knew. I knew it in a nanosecond. We're going to have a shutdown. Because my colleague...
And that's why the Republicans were so chill about it. That's why Trump was just posting memes. Because this is purely and utterly all their fault. And he was never going to cave, based.
My Democratic colleagues are very smart people. And Senator Schumer is a smart person. And he knew when he announced these demands that I could tell he wasn't serious. He knew they were unserious. And he knew that neither the president nor the other members of Congress were going to accept them. And you know what?
The plan from the get-go was the shutdown, so they could blame Trump.
Many Democrats know they're unreasonable as well. So that's why I say the policy part of this makes absolutely no sense.
True.
And that's because this isn't about policy. This shutdown is about politics.
That's right.
Now,
he's cooking. He's
parties
correct.
change.
He's right. It's not
just like the human experience changes over time. Political parties change. My party's changing. So is the Democratic Party. And there is a wing of the Democratic Party. I call it the socialist wing.
True! Dude, he is so right. He's so right. It's the AOCs. It's the Bernie Sanders. It's the leftoids. All right? It's not the liberals. It's the leftoids. Yeah, call out the commies. All right, call out the freaking commies. That's right, baby. Deport, deport.
Some less charitable people call it the loon wing of the Democratic Party.
I haven't heard that one, but all right.
And they are in charge right now. And the non-loon, non-socialist Democrats are scared to death of them. And this particular wing of the
he's fucking putting the left-hard feet to the fire.
Democratic Party that's in the ascendancy. What do they believe? They try to out-weird each other all the time.
True! So I believe we should be giving transsexual children surgery at the age of 8 years old. What do you think? 8 years old? So old. We should remove all genitals at birth. All right, let them decide which ones to add later. All right, I think that's more important. You know, you are so right. You are so right. You are so right, Queen. You are so right, Queen. How dare you? I am a gender-neutral monarch. I go by Blaze Star.
They hate, if you listen to them, they hate Thomas Jefferson. They hate Abraham Lincoln.
They hate the country. They hate the government. They hate the West. It is a war against the West. It's all the fucking retards. It's the fucking communist Free Palestine alliance of Islamists and the radical Islamists and communist retards that get together. They want the destruction of civilization. That's what they want. It's a holy war. It's a war on God and the biblical values that founded this country. And people are noticing.
They hate George Washington.
True.
They hate Dr. Zeus. They hate Mr. Potato Head. They
hate everything. They are just a party of hateful retards. How dare you say there are two genders? We will kill you now. We will celebrate your murder because you said there are two genders. Because you said boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. We will celebrate your murder.
Our kids should be able to change genders back and forth at recess. Kids. And if it's their preference, should be able to undergo sex change operations while minors paid by you, the taxpayers.
That's right.
That's right.
They're so evil. And you have to understand the level of evil we're dealing with. Not only are they castrating children and aborting children, but they're forcing you to pay for it. Like 1 million abortions a year? That blood is on all of our hands. We are forced against our will under threat of prison to pay for it.
They believe in open borders.
Yeah.
They believe that if you support the law, which says you have to be vetted to come into our country, if you support the law, you're a racist. Right. I think if you support the law, you're being prudent. But they believe in open borders. And my Democratic friends are about to elect a new mayor in New York City, who is a member of the Loon Wing. He's a self-avowed socialist.
Communist.
He has said if the Prime Minister of Israel comes to New York City, he will have him arrested. But
like he has the power to literally do any of that. But it doesn't even matter. Dude's a retard. Like, bro, I just saw this one clip, this perfect clip, the absolute cinema clip of Zohran Mamdani. I didn't know he was going to bring him up, but true. This is a communist guy that wants to basically have government-controlled housing and everything like that. They actually want to fucking control this shit. People don't realize how evil it is. Straight up communism. Like, dude, imagine electing a mayor of New York City because he's pro-Palestine. How does this even happen? Like, what difference does that make whatsoever to New York? Right, this was a clip of him that was just going viral. Him crying about Islamophobia.
I get messages that say the only good Muslim is a dead Muslim.
Oh! A message on social media! I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I get threats on my life.
A guy on social media that threatens your life. Welcome to politics, dude. Dude, I get it. I get that. I get both. All right, I get the only good Jew is a dead Jew shit. All right, I get the Hail Hitler Nazi shit. I get the fucking Hamas should kill you shit. I get it on all sides. I get death threats constantly. And you know who else gets death threats? And I'm going to hit you with a truth bomb. Every single normal human on the right. Every single normal human being on the right. Your entire party celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk. You don't have the right to cry. Oh no, he's crying!
On the people that I love.
No!
And I try not to talk about it.
You're clearly not trying hard enough.
Because the function of racism, as Toni Morrison said, is distraction. My focus has always been on making this a city that's affordable, on making the city...
Communism.
that every New Yorker sees themselves in.
Did you know that he's passing actual legislation that will charge higher tax rates in white neighborhoods than black neighborhoods and Muslim neighborhoods? Did you know that? He's actually passing legal legislation to charge higher taxes in white neighborhoods. This is a true thing.
And it takes a toll, because this is a city that every single person deserves to be in. It's a city that we all belong.
Literally, no. No, it's not. It's a city in the United States of America. Not everyone deserves to live in this city.
And the thing that's made me proudest in this campaign is that the strength of our movement is built on our ability to have built something across Jewish and Muslim New Yorkers, across New Yorkers of all faiths, and all backgrounds, and all boroughs.
Right, except he also celebrates the Intifada.
And anti-Semitism is such a real issue in the city.
Yeah.
And it has been...
And you celebrate the Intifada. Okay, are we retarded? Yeah, anti-Semitism is an issue, sure, because of people like you. This dude refused to condemn the Holocaust. He went to a Holocaust museum and he said, why would I condemn the Holocaust when there's a genocide in Gaza or some shit? Like, dude, you understand? Oh, you absolute fucking retard.
It's been hard to see it weaponized by candidates who do not seem to have any sincere interest in tackling it.
Right, like him, who does care deeply about anti-Semitism. He would prefer a world without anti-Semitism. You know why? Because if you kill all the Jews, there won't be any anti-Semitism anymore. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice way to think about it? So he also does want to end anti-Semitism. He just has a more pragmatic method. Anyway, not saying that he's genocidal or anything. I'm just saying he supports people that are genocidal. Like Hamas, Hezbollah, all the terrorists that kill Americans and Jews and stuff like that. Anyway.
This is not the majority of Democrats that believe this. I don't think that for a second. And I know many of my Democratic colleagues here don't believe that. But the loon wing, the socialist wing, the angry Gary Busey wing of the Democratic Party is in ascendancy. And they've got a lot of power, enormous amount of power. And many of my Democratic colleagues in the Senate are scared of them. And the loon wing is mad at many of my Democratic colleagues in the Senate.
Just note, if any one of those like socialist people ever wins the presidency, our country's dead. It's time to leave. But you have to understand how dire it is. Like, if any of these people become, they will import 4 trillion Muslims, and the country will die. I'm just saying, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. If any of these people ever win the presidency, our country's dead. It's really that simple.
Shouldn't be, but they are. And therefore, many of my Democratic colleagues in the Senate are scared of the loon wing. And they want the loon wing to love them. The loon wing will never love them. They're better off doing the right thing, and they know what the right thing to do is. But that's why I say this is a political decision, and that's why we're going to shut government down. Now, once you shut government down, unless you're prepared to leave it shut down permanently, and maybe my Democratic colleagues are, but I don't think so. I still, maybe I'm naive, but I still think too many of my Democratic colleagues in the Senate know better. Once you shut the government down, you got to get it back open.
True.
How are they going to get it back open? We're not going to agree to their demands. $1.5 trillion. They know we're not going to agree to it. So how is my friend Senator Schumer going to get government back open? You know, there's a famous movie line. I don't remember the movie. I think Denzel Washington said the line. I love Denzel. He's what cool looks like. The guy's awesome. He's a total baller, man. I love Denzel Washington. But anyway, I think he said in one movie, if you pray for rain, you better be prepared to deal with the mud. And truer words were never spoken. So if you want to shut down, I say to my Democratic friends, you better be prepared to deal with the mud. How you going to get it back open?
True.
I wouldn't want to be in their shoes.
True.
To have to make that decision.
They're the ones that are going to need to capitulate.
Say a few words. Every time we do a shutdown, it scares the living daylights out of the American people, especially our elderly. It breaks my heart. All of us get phone calls from folks scared to death. They're not going to get their Social Security check, or they're not going to be able to see their doctor, and it just breaks my heart. So I want to give them a little bit of assurance. During the shutdown, the executive branch will be in charge, and the Trump administration is not going to do anything to hurt our elderly. I want to assure them of that. If you're receiving a Social Security...
Yeah, they don't realize how bad they might have fucked up.
...check or Medicaid...
Direct Trump control due to shutdown. These guys shut down the government and actually made Trump a dictator. That's why Trump's posting memes, man.
Or Medicaid or a veteran's disability, your checks are going to continue. We will make sure of that. Trump administration will make sure of
Oh,
that.
they
Government
fucked
may
up.
be shut down,
Oh, they
but
fucked up
essential workers will still be there to make sure those checks are sent out. If you're hungry and you don't have the money to eat, we're not going to let you starve to death. The administration is going to continue.
Also important to note, starvation isn't really an issue in America. It's one of the big Democrat lies. Thank God, obviously, but starvation is not one of the issues that exists in the United States of America. Thank God. Obesity is. Quite the opposite, in fact. Starvation isn't the problem, it's obesity. We fat as hell! Did you see Governor Pritzker? Do you see Governor Pritzker? Bro, that man is shaped like a potato sideways. Alright, like, oh my God. So yeah, no, obviously there are some people that claim there's a malnutrition problem. But for the most part, it's not people that are starving to death. And in fact, to quote the late and great and wonderful Charlie Kirk, a good man that was taken from us by these people, by these leftoids that are shutting down the government now, if you go to any church, they'll give you food. So there is not a starvation problem in America.
Payments, we call it, some people call it SNAP. I call it food stamps. And we will continue the payments for the women, infants, and children's program. Most of us refer that to WIC. You'll still get your mail. Don't worry about that. Postal Service will be working through the shutdown. If you depend for health care on your Veterans Administration and VA medical centers, they're going to remain open. So I don't want you to be scared about that. Now, you're going to notice an impact.
Nice guy.
Probably we've got 2.5 million federal employees. Probably 750,000 aren't going to be on the job.
Well, as someone that fully supports firing half the government myself, this is very nice. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually very cool. I am very pro getting rid of half the government. All right, I am such a big fan of small government. It's crazy.
Under the law, they have to go home. So you will notice an impact. You'll notice it in our parks. You'll notice it in our museums here in Washington. If you're visiting, you'll notice it in many of the federal agencies. That's the law. They can't come to work in a shutdown. Doesn't matter.
That's right. Thank you, Democrats. Right. Do you remember when Trump was out there firing people with Doge in the beginning of his presidency? He fired a couple of workers and everyone freaked out. I can't believe you'd fire these IRS agents. I can't believe you do it. You remember everyone was like losing their mind? And here, these people essentially shut down the government and stole the funds of 750,000 employees. Like, these people have no principles and they're evil.
Who initiates the shutdown? We still got a little time. It's midnight tonight, and we're going to be taking some votes here in a few minutes. Give our Democratic colleagues one last chance.
And they flub it, and the government's shut down. Anyway, I'm curious to see what happens. Definitely subscribe. I will keep you updated on the levels of retardation that we're dealing with. But I really wanted to make this video, mostly because I wanted to bring attention to the reality of the situation. I saw a lot of people not covering this because it's obviously detailed. And not everyone wants to get involved into, like, the details and stuff. Like, your average person that covers, politics or events, no one really wants to get into the nitty-gritty. And no one wants to actually beef with Democrat people based on policy. But as someone that actually read up on this shit, these people are lying fucking snakes. And they want to kill you, your children, and they want to do their absolute best to castrate them. So, if they survive, all right? If they survive the womb, they want them castrated. Remember who you're up against. Liars, swindlers, cheats, and agents of Moloch. That's right. Nux, I can't believe you're demonizing these people that want to kill you. Really? You can't believe I'm demonizing these people that want to kill me and my children? Well, that sounds like a you problem. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.